Hi Yoga Habit, welcome to my house. As you can see, I had a birthday recently and didn't want to take any of the decorations down, so this is what we're working with. Bean is going to be visiting probably more than I'd like her to, and my intention with this video is to give you something to enjoy and work with, and I also just am coming off of having influenza A, which is awesome. It's awesome that it was that. So this is probably going to be something a little bit gentler. That's what my body's looking for, and I hope that that's something that will work well for you. So let's get started. I probably should find something to keep the time with. Can I use something of yours to keep the time with?
Of course. Would you like a watch?
Yeah, I could read a watch probably. In fact,
Isn't it right there?
here's a watch that doesn't work. Oh, here's my watch. Okay, let's get started. So go ahead and take child's pose. Stretch your hands forward, sit back, your tailbone to your heels, and let your forehead just hit the mat, just gently resting all of the weight of your head down onto the mat. Take deep breaths, and any way that your body wants to move here, if there's something a little extra you'd like to take it. Come up to tabletop, bring your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. And on your inhale, drop your belly, look up. On your exhale, round your spine, drop your chin. Breathe in, drop your belly. Look up without straining. No need to strain your eyes or your neck. And exhale, round your back. Get all the way to the bottom of your exhale, all of the air out. Lift up to downward facing dog. And give yourself a deep bend to your knees to bring your weight back into your feet, out of your hands, and experiment with lifting one hand and then the other off the mat. Get nice and light in your hands. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Squeeze the pit of your belly in, flex your toes towards your face, and bend your knee, open up. Release that foot back to the floor. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. Foot flex the whole way. Take any bend out of your leg. From the pit of your belly, can you lift another inch up and then bend your knee open? Release your foot back down to the mat. Look right in between your thumbs. Lift up onto your toes. Squeeze the pit of your belly in and give yourself several little steps to get all the way to the top of your mat. Bring your feet under your hips, so 2 fist distance apart. Grab opposite elbows and drop your head. Rock your weight side to side, so from the left foot to the right foot and back again. Rock your weight forward into the balls of your feet, getting light in your heels. And then really find the 4 corners of your feet. So you can even take your hands to guide yourself. Press into the balls of your big toes. Press into the outer edge of both feet. And right into the heels of both feet. So you're very connected to the floor through your feet. And then with active feet, so arches lifted, toes lifted and spread, take a halfway lift, flat spine, flat back. Exhale out, forward fold. Take one more like that. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, reach your tailbone back, crown of your head forward. Exhale, forward fold out. Inhale all the way up to mountain pose. Stretch up through your fingers. Keep those feet nice and grounded on the floor. Breathe through stretching up, and then as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Full breath in, stretch up. Fold forward, breathe out. Inhale, halfway lift. Fill your lungs, full capacity. Step back to high push-up. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Squeeze the pit of your belly in. Let your eyes land on one spot. So if your eyes want to move all around, that's totally okay. Pick one spot. Squeeze the pit of your belly in. Take it back to downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale out, take your eyes forward. Take one big step to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Mountain pose, stretch all the way up. From your heels up to your fingers, lift. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Step back, high push-up. Shoulders over your wrists, and then hinge forward so your shoulders just past your wrists. Lower just a quarter of the way down, so just a little low push-up. No strain through your neck, through your shoulders, everything just natural. Squeeze the pit of your belly in, right to upward facing dog. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. Pull the center of your chest forward. Lift. Send it back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Exhale out, let your heels release towards the floor. Inhale, lift up high on your toes. Bend your knees, take your eyes forward, and then one big step or a jump takes you to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale out, forward fold. Stretch all the way up, mountain pose, lift. Long exhale, fold forward, empty your breath. Halfway lift, length. Step back, high push-up to little low push-up. No strain anywhere, little low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Set your eyes forward for one breath in. And then walk your eyes back between your toes to downward facing dog. Walk them back the whole way. Don't lose that connection of your eyes set. Breathe in. Exhale out. Full breath in, lift up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Activate your feet. Lift and spread your toes. Forward fold, breathe out. Mountain pose, reach up. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Take up space. Forward fold, empty. Half lift. Chaturanga, low push-up. Not so low, just enough. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the tops of your feet, lengthen through your legs. Lift back, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale, set your eyes forward, so see where you're going. Step or float to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for chair pose. Sink your weight back into your heels. Cactus your arms to start. So cactusing my arms lets me keep my shoulders nice and low and relaxed, and squeeze my shoulder blades onto my back. So taking up a lot of space here through my upper body, getting expansive. On my exhales, I'm gonna take my hips down. Find the four corners of your feet even here. So lift and spread your toes, but still press the balls of your feet into the floor, outer edges of your feet and your heels into the floor. So really connected. Full breath in. Exhale, sink lower. And then one more big breath in, expand, maybe straighten out your arms, and then slow release, slow fold over your legs, empty your breath out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Full breath in, upward facing dog. Lift your chest. Take it back, downward facing dog. Right leg warrior one. No extra lift of your right leg, just take it forward. Squeeze your knee in towards your nose, plant your foot. Press the outer edge of your back foot into the floor and square up. Square your shoulders, square through your hips. And find a rhythm to your breath. Let your breath establish first. Once you have that breath going, then take the alignment cues, the alignment adjustments to bring your body into the posture. Start from your feet, four corners of your feet press down, lift and spread your toes. And then lift your low belly, squeeze it in, lift your heart, let your shoulders drop down your back. One more full breath in. Stretch up, maybe take your eyes up, little back bend. Exhale through low push-up. See your hands hit the mat. Exhale all the way down through your low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg forward, warrior one. No extra lift, just bring your knee in towards your belly. Squeeze it in, round your back, and then plant your foot. Drop your right back foot flat on the mat. Set your eyes, set your breath. Then take your alignment adjustments. Bend your front knee as you warm up into the pose. Keep drawing your left hip back. Think of your belly button, like there's like a little laser beam that can come out of your belly button, pointed towards the front of the room. Squeeze in, like you're gonna fire up that laser beam, and then it's pointing forward. Point the center of your chest forward. Drop your chin 1 inch to get a long back of your neck, like you're lifting up through the top of your head. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, settle into the pose. Find your feet sink a little lower towards the ground. One more full breath in takes you up. And come down, low push-up. See your hands land. Let that be part of your drishti practice. Your hands land. Exhale through low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You're getting a little toasty like me. You can make your adjustments here. Just a breath. Take a big breath and lift up onto your toes. Bend your knees, prepare, eyes forward, step or float to the front. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale, fold forward, breath out. Inhale, chair pose. Take your time to reach your full expression. Sink your weight back into your heels, stretch through your arms. Slow forward fold, exhale. So find a rhythm here. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, back to chair pose. Sink your weight into your heels. Strong feet,
strong legs, and then nice and light upper body to stretch up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Drop your head at the bottom. One more time. Come back to chair pose. Breathe in. Fullest chair pose yet. Tailbone down. Stretch up through your arms. Inhale. Forward fold. Exhale out. Right to the bottom of your breath. Empty. Empty out. Halfway lift. Stretch your spine. Chaturanga. Take it back. Squeeze your belly in. Upward facing dog. Lift. Take it back. Downward facing dog. Right leg warrior one. Long step forward. One breath in to stretch up. Set your eyes. Don't let your eyes move from that drishti point you chose. Open warrior two. Those eyes stay set. Now look to your right thumb. Peaceful warrior. Look up at your thumb as you stretch. And then watch your right hand take you down for chaturanga. Watch that right hand take you down to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Eyes take you back. Downward facing dog. Left leg, warrior one. Take it forward. One breath lifts you all the way up. Set your eyes, so unshakable drishti on your spot that you chose. Open, warrior two. Look to your left thumb now, peaceful warrior. Stretch back, breathe in, stretch your side body, and then let your left hand take you down. Watch that thumb bring you all the way down to low push-up. Exhale through, exhale through. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale out, downward facing dog. 3 full breaths. Inhale, lift up on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, eyes forward, step or float. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold, empty. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Bring your tailbone down, stretch up through your arms. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Come down, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg warrior one. Longest step yet. Take it all the way forward. Breathe in and lift. Open up warrior two. Stretch back, peaceful warrior. Eyes down to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg, warrior one. Long step, ground your feet, lift up, open, warrior two. Stretch back, peaceful warrior. Low push-up, come down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky and find your hands on the floor. Find the heels of your hands, press those into the floor, and then squeeze up and out of your shoulders. Squeeze through the pit of your belly, all the way out through your lifted heel. So one long line of energy. Push down into the floor through your feet, push into the floor through your standing foot, lift your heel up. Now bend your knee and open. So let your heel drop back towards your butt for a quad stretch. Lift and open, lift and open. Keep dropping your right shoulder towards the mat as you lift and open. And then you can stay right here or flip dog. Gently land your right foot over. Reach your right arm straight up to the sky. Plug your shoulder into your back and then press your feet into the floor to lift your hips up. Maybe you reach towards the front of your room. One more breath in. Roll back, high push-up. Now choose a variation of side plank that you can take and keep that breath moving. So drop your heels to the right Lift your left arm up to the sky. Squeeze the pit of your belly in one long line. Heels out in one direction, crown of your head towards the other direction. Full breath in to downward facing dog. Place your hand down. Lift your tailbone back. Send your left leg up to the sky. Take the bend out of your left leg, and we're about to open our hips, so start with a closed hip. Start with hips square to the floor. Root into both hands on the floor. Root into your right foot on the ground to lift your left heel, and then maybe you lift it a little bit more. Then you bend your knee, open up your hip. Let it feel good. Open, open. Keep pushing your chest back towards your thigh. Open and flip dog. Go over. Stretch your left arm up. Plug it into your back. Full breath in. Lift your hips. Take your eyes up and back. And roll to high push up. Bring your inner edges of your feet into touch. Drop your heels over. Lift your right arm up to the sky. Take your time. Take your time to get into your side plank. Hug your shoulders and squeeze your shoulders in to express out. Lift through your right arm. One big breath in. Right to downward facing dog. Lift your right leg straight up to the sky. Bring your knee into your nose, round your back. So really curl in, get a nice back stretch, kick back, inhale. Squeeze your knee into your nose, round your back, shoulders right over your wrist, squeeze in, stay, and then plant your foot between your hands. Drop your left knee down, walk your right arm to the inside of your right leg, and take a few breaths here to sink in to your lizard, to open up this space right here. And take the time for it. So there's no need to land at your final destination. You're just at the beginning. Take the next few breaths to journey into the pose. You can drop down a little bit lower, bring your chest a little closer to the mat. Come up onto your hands. Zip up your back leg. So press your back foot into the floor. Straighten your left leg. Plant your left hand. Reach your right arm up. Stay in the four corners of your front foot. So ball of your front foot. Pinky toe edge of your front foot. Squeeze your shoulders onto your back. And you're lifting through your whole right shoulder. Not just your right arm flopping back. Doesn't matter how far back the right arm goes, let it come from your whole right side of your chest opening. One more full breath in. Reach through that top arm. And then take both hands down. On your next inhale, reach up for crescent lunge. Both arms up by your ears. Open up warrior two. Drop your back foot. Let your shoulders release down your back. And as you open your chest, your heart towards the left side of the room, keep your gaze over your right hand. So as I'm bending my knee little by little, a little bit more and a little bit more, I'm making sure I'm really tracking it over the pinky toe edge of my foot. So in this direction, not letting it flop in. And we can give ourselves a little self-assist here. So with our two first fingers on each hand, with my left hand, I can gently lift and guide open my left hip. And the same thing, my right fingers, I can take them just to the inside of my right knee. I can lift and gently guide open and back. So taking those two directions, opening through my chest, squeezing and lifting in here, full breath in. Exhale, sink a little bit more. And then open your arms back out. Reach back, peaceful warrior. Take your hand to the inside of your right leg. So with all of my weight leaning forward, it can feel easy for the right leg to do all the work. Don't let the left leg not engage, not squeeze in. Think of centering your weight over both your legs even as you're leaning over that front leg. So press your back foot into the floor. Lift up and out, full breath in, stretch up through that top arm, and take it down for low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift back, downward facing dog. Just gonna grab my block, which is behind me here. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Squeeze that leg, press through your heel, and bring your knee into your nose. Kick back, inhale. Take your time to get to fullest extension of stretching back. And then bring your knee into your nose, squeeze in, round your back, shoulders over your wrists, plant your foot. Take the left hand to the inside of your left leg, drop your right knee down, and breathe here. And use your breath to guide you into the pose. There's no reason why you have to hit a certain point in releasing into the pose. Practice might feel different today than you're used to. Just make space for it to be however it is. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Zip up your back leg, lift your back knee. On your next inhale, reach both arms up by your ears. And open, warrior two. Let your shoulders release down your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back. Start from the floor. Press both feet into the floor. Open your left knee over the pinky toe edge of your left foot. And think of really opening your hips, opening your pelvis towards the right side, opening your heart towards the right side, and your gaze is over your left hand. And then just breathe here. Feel all the little changes that happen as you stay and breathe in one posture. Even if the changes aren't visible to somebody else, you can feel them happening. Full breath in, stretch back. Side angle. Take your left hand to the inside of your left leg. If you have a block and you'd like to use the block, I like to take it to the highest setting. Here, bend my front knee, and then I like to bend my elbow and push it into the inside of my knee to get that external rotation. So just as much stretch as I'm getting through the right side of my body here, I want to create the same feeling through this left side as well, right? Rather than like squeezing and crunching in, I want the opposite. I want to open both sides just as much as I can. So I'm going to lift and spread all 10 toes, press my left knee open, and then open my right shoulder back. Last time, full breath and stretch up. And take it down, low push up. Find grounding under both hands, under both feet. Inhale, lift your chest, eyes forward. Go back downward, facing dog. Look right between your thumbs, bend your knees, find your way to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Toe heel your feet into touch. Sit back into a nice, easeful chair pose. So chair pose doesn't always have to be like the hardest, most intense thing ever. It can also be a place where you feel grounded in your feet and then grow through your legs, through your side body to find length through your whole body. Keep sending your weight back into your heels, back into your heels. Take your hands to your heart. Now here's the place to really take that tailbone down, sink it low, and twist to the right. Hook your left elbow over your right knee. And I like to really hike it up just as high as I can, away from my knee towards my hips. Lift and spread your toes. Press your hands together to send your tailbone back. Pull the crown of your head forward. So think of this as just as much lengthening as a twist. Stay with it. Stay back in your heels. Full breath in. As you exhale, maybe take that tailbone down a little bit more. One more full breath in. And forward fold, release over your legs. Split your feet apart, hips width distance. Option to take a block and squeeze it nice and high up between your legs. Take your first 2 fingers around your big toes. Inhale, half lift as you squeeze the block. Exhale, pull your chest down and keep a nice soft bend in your knees. Find a balance here between release, between restoration and activation. So as I let my head drop, as I enjoy the stretch up through the backs of my legs, I'm also squeezing the block. I'm also using the bind on my toes to pull my shoulders up and away from my ears. So I'm still integrating right between my shoulder blades, and that makes space for my neck to lengthen and just to hang and traction out. Keep shifting your weight forward, out of your heels, into that front half of your feet. Take a full breath in and exhale, release the bind. To feel your feet back into touch. Easy inhale, bring yourself back into chair pose. Let that expand your chest, expand your lungs. And when you feel grounded in your feet, 4 corners of your feet connected to the floor, take your hands to your heart. Drop your tailbone down, sit nice and low, and twist. Hook your right elbow over your left leg. Use the bind. So push that top hand into your bottom hand. There's a choice to you. You can make a fist with one hand and push your open palm into that fist. So think of keeping your hips square to the mat and then lifting and opening your chest in contrast to your square hips. Full breath in to lengthen. Exhale, chest opens. One more full breath in. And slow release, fold over your legs. Take your feet apart. Take gorilla pose. So walk your hands under your feet. Take your toes right to your wrist creases. Let your head drop. And then again, find a balance between restoration and activation. So how much can you let go of in this pose? What doesn't need to work? Could be your jaw, your neck. And then how active can you make the pose to get as much as you can out of it? So still, squeeze your belly in, lift your tailbone, point it up towards the sky, hug your shoulders up and away from your ears to create length for your head to just let go. So you're active and peaceful. And breathe into this space. Release your hands, sit right into Malasana squat. So take your feet apart, drop your tailbone down. Take your hands to your heart. Find your elbows to the insides of your legs. Press out to give yourself a nice opening stretch. And the more you take your outer edges of your feet parallel to your mat, edges of your mat, so that means the more you kick your heels out, the more intense it is. There's no reason to go there, just in case you need a little bit more. So here, let that tailbone drop. Lift the center of your chest, drop your chin. Chin is low to give you a nice long back of your neck. So think of extending as much as you can from this top part of your head all the way down to your tailbone. One long line. Drop your right hand down. Lift your left arm up, take your eyes up, and then take your hand back, and you can grab right around your right thigh. If you want, you can take your right hand to meet your left hand. Take that bind, and then as you lift your chest, use your right arm to pull your right leg open. And gently release your bind. Come on back. This time take your left hand down. Reach your right arm up. This might be enough. This might be all you need. If there's more space for you to go, take your right hand around, palm open, and then your left hand can come around for the bind. And do all this, stay grounded in both feet, lifting through your heart, lifting through your chest. And release the bind. Bring both hands back around. And then just for fun, just to see how this goes, lift your tailbone up just part of the way. Walk your hands back right between your legs. And then your hands now are kind of like a second set of feet. See what happens if you shift your weight back into your hands. Maybe one foot lifts, maybe another foot lifts, and then see what happens. See if this balance might happen for you. And as you come up, maybe, this is as far as you go, maybe you start to straighten out your legs a little bit, maybe you straighten your arms out a little bit, and then bring your feet back around, come right back into a squat. Bring both hands down, lift your tailbone up towards the sky so you're in a nice forward fold, just to start to recalibrate, let the blood go down. Walk yourself out to a downward facing dog. Wherever you are on your mat, find your way there. Look right between your thumbs. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Mountain pose, stretch all the way up. Nice and long, nice and tall. And then take eagle, right arm under, right leg over, and take this transition nice and slow. I like to take it very slow so that I can feel the whole transition into the pose. Right, if we go fast, if we just get there super fast, then it's like the transition didn't matter. But there's so much that happens in transitions, right? Drop your tailbone down, sink your weight back into your heel, and lift through your elbows. Draw your shoulders back over your hips. Take a full breath in, tailbone down, stretch up through your fingers so you're pulling everything apart, and then slow in your transition, lift up to mountain pose. Both arms up, both feet planted. Left side eagle, left arm under, left leg over. I want to go slow so I feel my body moving through space. I don't want to miss anything. The left side feels a little different for me than the right side. It's okay, just noticing. Let each side be its own thing. One does not need to match the other. One is not better than the other. Slide your weight back into your heel. Let the breath carry the pose. Let it shape the pose. So on your inhales, lift up through your elbows, lift up through your chest. On your exhales, bring your weight down, sink towards the floor, bend your standing leg. Full breath in, let's do stretch up. Stay for the exhale. And then mountain pose. Take your time. Inhale, stretch up. Place both feet down. Take both arms down by your sides. Standing leg raise. So shift your weight into your left foot. Lift your right knee up, catch it in your right hand. Open your leg to the right side. Extend through your left arm and take your eyes over your left thumb. And hug into your center line. So if you feel yourself wanting to shift one direction or the other, stay nice and centered over that standing foot. Slowly shift your right knee back to center. Inhale, reach both arms up, kick your heel forward, and then slow as you need to, take it back into airplane. Take your time. As you start to extend through both arms back behind you, pull your shoulders onto your back, drop your chin for a long back of your neck. Drop your right hip down to square up your hips towards the floor. Push through your lifted back heel, push through. Lift your heart, lift your heel, and then hands to your heart. Take half moon. Bring a block under your left hand. I like to take it to the highest setting. And I like to do that so that my left side gets just as much stretch as my right side. I don't want to collapse through my left side at all. Roll your right hip open. Get light through your left hand. Breathe. Let your eyes land on one spot. If your eyes want to move around, let your drishti be one anchor in this pose. Full breath in. Kick your heel up, stretch up, inhale, and release down. Halfway lift. Forward fold, empty. Mountain pose, stretch up. Breathe in. Take your arms by your sides. Shift your weight into your right foot with control. This is an important aspect of this. Standing leg raise, lift your left foot up. Left foot flexed, catch it in your left hand. Guide your leg open. Keep your foot flexed the whole way. Left foot flexed, left foot flexed. Then stretch your right arm out. Take your gaze over your right hand. Pull the pit of your belly in. Squeeze in to ground down into your bottom foot and lift up and out of your hips. One more breath here. And bring your knee back to center. Reach both arms up to the sky. Kick your heel forward. And slow transition takes you back for airplane. Feel the four corners of your right foot on the ground. Can you feel how your foot is strengthening? Your ankle is strengthening through all of this. It's working in a different way than it does when we're just moving around during our day. Extend through as much as you can. So extend through your arms, extend through your neck, through your sides, through your leg, all the way out your heel. Give yourself length. Lift your heel, lift your heart, half moon. Hands to your heart. Keep your leg awake through this whole transition, that left leg, lifted leg. Bring the block right under your left hand, your right hand, with enough space to open through your right side. And I had a teacher once that liked to say, if you wobble, you must smile. If you fall, you must laugh. So I'm holding you to it wherever you are. Press through your left heel. Get light on your right arm. Lift, stretch up through your left hand. Breathe in and release down. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, stretch all the way up to stand. Take your arms by your sides. Find even distribution of your weight through both feet. And then take dancer. So shift your weight into your left foot. Catch your right ankle in your right hand and start with your knees nice and close together. So sometimes when we catch one leg, that lifted leg, that knee wants to pop way open. Draw it in. Start with your knees close enough, like they're just kissing. And then squeeze the pit of your belly in. Lift your heart and only lean forward in your dancer as much as you kick up. So just as much lift as you kick up and back through your backhand. Plug your left shoulder back. Squeeze the pit of your belly in. Squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. And I really had to learn in my practice over the years not to push this pose too far, not to like go for what I thought it should look like, but go for what was okay in my back and in my lifted leg. Walk right up to your edge. Find the edge of the pose for you. Kick and lift, and then gently release down. Find equanimity through both feet. Shift your weight back and forth so you find equal. And then bring your weight into your right leg. Catch your left foot. Bring your knees into touch, nice and close. Squeeze the pit of your belly in. And take your time, kick and lift. Stay lifted through your chest. Eyes set out in front of you. If you feel your left hip popping up, let it drop down. That might mean not going so far into the pose. That's okay. One more breath. Kick and lift. Find your edge. And gently release. Inhale, stretch both arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, breathe in. Low push-up, come down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg warrior two. Take a big step forward. Trikonasana, triangle. Straighten your front leg. Pull your hips back and pull through your front hand. Give yourself a lot of length. Take your hand to a block if you have that on the outside of your right leg. And also, just to say, like, you might have a block at home, but people like to use whatever they can. If you have like a big jar of peanut butter or a stack of books, give yourself something, if it feels good, to ground into. It doesn't have to be like a special piece of equipment. Keep drawing your hips back, and as straight as my leg may be, as straight as it may look, there's a little micro bend right behind my knee. Right? A little bit of water in your joints for ease. Take one more full breath in, stretch up, and then fold right into pyramid. Both hands down. Walk your back foot in halfway, so about a foot and a half from your front foot to your back foot. Ground into the four corners of your feet and let your head release, let your neck release. Could feel good to use something to press into, right? If your hands aren't reaching the floor, even for me, my hands reach the floor, but it's nice for me to push into something else a little closer. Really want to create a feeling of grounding. And I'm just going to check on what's going on with my hips. Take one hand to your sacrum and feel what's going on there. If it feels like a nice flat surface, or if it feels like, oh, there's like a bit of an angle going on. Usually if there's an angle, it just means pull your right hip back. Pull it back and go easy on your right knee. Keep a little gentle bend in your right knee. Now twisting triangle, right from this nice flat shape here. Left hand down, maybe to a block. Right arm stretches up. And the sensation of the stretch and the twist is not so much from what's going on in your right hand, but from really staying in your feet. Push your feet into the floor, pull your hips back in space, draw through the crown of your head. So this opposite motion of hips back, head forward, that's really where the opening comes from. And then from that shape, you can start to stretch your right arm up. Give yourself a nice breath in, stay on your feet, stretch, and come down for a low push-up. Exhale through low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg forward, warrior two. Trikonasana, straighten your front leg, pull your hips back, stretch through your left arm, and take it down to the outside of your foot. Again, love to use a block to feel grounded. The triangle, the 3 points of your triangle, your 2 feet, and what's going on under that hand. Reconnect to the sensation that you feel under both feet. Reconnect to your breath. Full breath, stretch up through that top arm, and then fold forward right into pyramid. So walk your back foot in halfway. Set yourself up to feel grounded under your feet. Feel the texture of the mat under your feet. Feel the 4 corners of your feet. Pull your hips back. Let your head release towards your leg. Halfway lift, find this shape of a long spine, hips pulling back, nice flat shape in your pelvis here. And twisting triangle, root your right hand down, maybe to a block. Keep pulling your hips back. My weight really is in my heels, and I'm pushing into the balls of my feet to stay connected to the floor. Draw through the crown of your head, and gently twist open. Full breath in, exhale out, and then last time, inhale, stretch, low push up, plant both hands, and take it down. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift back, downward facing dog. Come forward, shoulders over your wrists, nice, tall, push-up position, and then gently come down to forearm plank. I like to either clasp my hands together or take a block and make my hands into this L shape and use the block. And then right from here, lift your tailbone up, start to walk your feet in towards your elbows, right into dolphin. And you'll know how far in your dolphin wants to walk because your body will say, okay, cool, that's good. Don't walk any closer. Now, press up and out through your arms and through your shoulders to make space. And you're lifting your head up and away from the floor. If you want to lift your right leg up to the sky, take it up, push through your heel, and release that foot down. Opposite leg up, left leg up. Press through your heel, lift, and bring your foot down. And then walk yourself out of your dolphin. So walk those legs out, walk them out, right into your forearm plank. And then one after the other, left hand, right hand. Up, high push up, lower all the way down to the mat. Take one cheek to the mat. Stretch your arms back by your sides, palms facing down. And then bring your heels into touch. Tent your fingers on the floor. So bring the pads of your fingers to like suction into the floor. Or like Jung likes to say, like pretend there's like a little cupcake under each hand that you're tenting around. I thought that was very nice. Squeeze your legs in. Keep those hands glued to the floor. Lift your heart, lift your heels. Drop your chin. You're going to pull your chin in for a nice long neck and breathe. Use your 10 fingers on the ground, anchoring you to squeeze your shoulders onto your back, lift your heels. And then one more breath. If you want to float your hands up, float them up, squeeze in, lift, and release to the floor. Interlace your hands at your tailbone. Pull your fist towards your heels. Bring those heels into touch. And take your second locus. Lift your heart, lift your heels. And don't lift so much that your breath gets cut off. Right? Lift enough that you can still have an easy flow. You need to feed the pose with oxygen. Easy power now. Lift your heels, lift your chest, full breath in, and release down. Take bow pose, Dhanurasana. Bring your heels in towards your butt, grab your ankles, and I like to bring my knees in nice and close, maybe even touch my two big toes together. Kick and lift, kick into your hands to come up. And here again, it's so easy to want to lift up so high that the breath gets cut off. So don't get too caught up in that. Keep the breath moving. Keep the prana, all that flowing so you can feed the pose, right, rather than cut off the pose. One more breath, kick and lift, and release down. Let your heels flop side to side. Take upward facing dog. Press the tops of your feet down, lift your heart, and go back downward facing dog. Look right between your hands, walk your feet all the way through, lie down on your back, and take bridge pose. And I'm going to use a block to support the bridge. If you have a block, you want to take it, you can do that, or you can just lift right up. Lift yourself up nice and high into bridge pose. It's up to you. Bring the inner edges of your feet to be parallel. Snuggle your shoulders under you to get a nice lift and opening through your chest. Breathe here. If you want to take it up, either from the block, or if you're already off the block, you want to just come up a little higher, go for it. Press your feet into the floor, lift up, and think of, you want to cut off your own vision with your chest. So your chest is lifting up, but it's also going back towards your face. And think of your quads lengthening, so knees pulling forward, chest lifting. You can interlace your hands underneath you. And then right from here, ground into your feet. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Flex your foot. Lift your hips, send that foot up. Then bring your foot down. Ground your left foot. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Foot flexed. Heel up towards the sky. Lift your hips. Kick that foot up. Then bring your foot down. And breathe here. Stay up if you can. Stay lifted. And see what it feels like to breathe here. See if you make adjustments through your chest, through your hips. What space does that open up for your breath? Right here, if wheel is in your practice, take your hands back, lift yourself up. Lift and press up into wheel. Press into your feet. Drop your hips 1 inch. Lift your chest up and gently lower down. Bring the inside edges of your feet to touch. Drop your knees open for Supta Baddha Konasana. Left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Bring your knees in. Gently pull your knees into your chest, and then take happy baby. Grab the outer edges of both feet and pull your feet down and apart, rock side to side. knees in. Give them one more hug. Rock the length of your spine. And come all the way through to downward facing dog. Right side, half pigeon. Bring your right knee into your right wrist. Pull your left leg nice and long and then just drop down and in. Drop your forehead to the mat. If you need a little bit more, walk your hands forward. Pull yourself deeper into the pose. And then walk your hands back. Switch sides, so come through downward facing dog. Left leg forward. Drop in. Stay with your breath if you can. If you notice that your attention is wandering, come right back to your breath. Your breath is the anchor to the present moment. And then gently walk your hands back. Swing your right leg around for double pigeon. Bring your right ankle over your left knee. Sit up nice and tall and push your left ankle forward so that instead of this sort of crisscross shape, you've got really one leg stacked over the other. And that might mean a big space between your right knee and the floor, which is totally fine. If you need a little bit of support, you can grab a block and support your leg. Push it right up under your right leg. So for me, it feels good to tent my fingers to help me lift my chest and rock forward onto my sits bones. And that's enough for me. I don't really need to lean forward very much. Keep both feet flexed. And then gently switch sides. So bring your left ankle over your right knee. This side may feel really different from the other side. Maybe you're not the same on each side, and that is totally fine. I used to get really caught up in like, oh, my left hip, it feels so different from my right hip. Like, what does that mean? Is there something wrong here? And I realized that we use each half of our body differently, and we want to treat them equally. We want to work them equally and give them an equal chance, but they don't need to be the same. It's just not important. Use the breath to help release and relax places that you feel tension. One more full breath in. And exhale out. Release your legs out in front of you. Bring both legs long. Sit up nice and tall and take one long stretch over both legs. Keep the breath moving. Don't worry about how far forward your hands go. Right? Some people have long arms, short legs. Some people have long legs, long arms, short legs, the other way around. So it doesn't matter. The geometry of the pose is based on your body. Just go for the way that your body wants to open today. And sit back, take reverse tabletop. Press your hands and feet to the floor. Lift your hips up, drop your head back. If it feels okay in your neck, drop your head back. And then take a full breath in. Stick out your tongue, big breath out. Take one more like that, big breath in. Tongue out, all the air out. And come down. You can take shoulder stand or lift your hips up on a block. So if your hips are coming up on a block, just slide it right under. Heels up over your hips. And if you're taking shoulder stand, bring those hands up so to prop up those hips and stay nice and long and strong through your legs. So feet flexed all the way up. Not tense, but supported all the way up the pose from your hips to your toes. And then gently take your toes back behind your head if you're in shoulder stand. If your toes touch the floor behind you, drop your knees around your ears. And roll yourself out. Take your time. Really go slow to fully articulate your spine on the floor. See if you can really feel your spine unrolling. Bend your knees into your chest. We'll all meet on our backs. And then extend your left leg long. Pull your right leg gently across your body. Extend your right arm out. Look over your right shoulder towards your right hand. Come back through center. Bring your left leg in. Right leg extends long. Pull it across. Left arm extends long away from your body. Take your eyes over your left hand. And then come back through center. Give yourself one long stretch. So legs long, arms long over your head. Spread your fingers, spread your toes like you're waking up in the morning. This big stretch. Then take your arms by your sides. Legs apart to rest. Just feel the natural weight of your body. Every point that your body touches the floor. If there's any part of your body that doesn't want to be still yet, notice that and release that part of your body from needing to move or fidget. And then gently bring your knees in. Roll to one side. And press yourself up to sit. Thanks so much, everybody, for practicing, for taking care of you. And I hope that we'll be all together soon. Stay healthy until then.